Welcome everybody to our Wednesday noon boot camp class. I'm your instructor, Quinn, health fitness specialist at Exos at Autodesk. Today, we're going to be having a great... Hey Heather, let me just pin my view here. We're just getting started. All right, so we're going to have a really good workout today. Same sort of routine. We're going to have about a warm-up, a couple circuits, and then we're going to finish off with some mobility and stretching. So today we're going to get started with our legs spread. We're going to work into some side-to-side lunges. So we're just going to drop one knee, bending down, stretching into this leg here, and applying the weight onto that bending leg as we press back up. Moving nice and easy, back and forth, starting to get the hips, knees, and the ankles all working together. Nice and warmed up. More here. Okay. Keeping that wide stance, we're going to bring our hands out to the side and we're going to do the opposite T touches. Okay, so we're going to bend down, twisting as we come down, rotating, getting our opposite hand down to our toe. Trying to keep those legs nice and straight, coming back up into a tall standing position, and then twisting straight back down. Two more here. And done. Good. Next up, we have our zombie kicks. So we're going to stand, feet together, hands out in front of us, and we're just going to individually kick each foot up to the hand, stretching out the back of the leg, activating the front of the hip a little bit, focusing on our balance and stability as we move on one foot here. You should be kicking that toe up to the opposite hand as we come up. And good. All right. Next up, we have our quad pulls. So same thing, standing with your feet about hip width apart. We're going to bend the knee up, grabbing the foot and pulling the heel into the hip and releasing. Coming up, pull into the hip and release. A nice little stretch and then release. Really pulling in to the front of the leg, deep into those quads. A few more. Good. All right. So next up, we're just going to do some arm circles. So standing nice and tall, feet about hip width apart, hands coming out to the sides. We're just going to go quick little circles forward. And as you go around, get those hands wider and wider. Bigger and bigger circles until you're as big as you can go. And then we're going to come back in smaller and smaller and change direction. So now we're going backwards as we get bigger and bigger. All the way as big as you can go. And bringing it in, a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter, 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 and stop. Good. Next one, we've got squat heel taps. This will be the last one of our warm-up, and then we'll get into our circuits. So you're just going to squat down, bring the other foot up, and tap. Down, tap. Trying to get moving here a little bit. So really dropping those hips quick. Coming down and up into a squat. Good. Couple more seconds. Good, and rest. Awesome. So we're gonna start our first circuit here with a little bit of some shoulder work and just a little bit of core with some legs thrown in as well. So our first one, we're gonna hop down onto our mat here and we're gonna do some Supermans. So we're gonna get the back of our shoulder nice and engaged and our back muscles working real hard here. So we're gonna get our hands out in front, legs straight back, and we're gonna pop the hands and feet up, holding for about 5 seconds, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, coming down and back up, really getting those hands up to the ceilings, pulling those shoulders down towards the hips, down and up again. Nice and high off the ground, slow tap and straight back up. Few more here. Last one. Hold, really squeeze those shoulders down and relax. Good. Next one we're going to do, it's fairly similar, but we're going to move through different planes here. So the first one we're going to do is the I. So we got IYTs. What we're going to do is we're going to get down to a little squat. We're going to get our hands out in front of us right here like this, hanging down below our chest. Thumbs pointed forward, and you're going to go straight up for an I. Hold, come back down, and then you're coming out 45 degrees for a Y. Coming down, and then you're going straight out to the side for a T. Okay? Thumbs facing forward the whole time, getting those hips nice and low, holding a squat, and pulling those shoulders down towards the hips, keeping them away from the ears. Trying to keep that chest up, just right over the ground. A few more seconds here. We'll go one more time through, keeping those thumbs forward the whole time. And up, nice job. Okay, next one, we're gonna be working back into those hips. We're gonna try and keep the chest forward here and keeping our weight over this front leg and really engaging the glutes here. So if you lean your chest over, but not over the toe, still over the midpoint of the foot, as we come down, can really get the weight onto that leg, really efficiently loading the front and the back side as we do our split squat. A few more seconds. Keep up the good work. And switch legs. So here, gotta get my balance. So here I'm gonna bring that chest over the knee, and then as I come down, I'm keeping that weight right in the middle of my front foot. So I'm trying to load both the front side and the back side of my leg as we do this. Just trying to keep that weight right over the middle, nice and even through our split squat. A few more. And rest. Good. All right, next up we have our shoulder taps. So we're gonna walk out onto our mat with our hands and knees. But as we get our feet back, the knees come up. And now we're just gonna be tapping our shoulders back and forth for 30 seconds here. Nice, easy pace, keeping the work going. Try and shift your weight as minimally as you can. You want little movement through here. Really trying to challenge that core and stability. 3, 2, 1, rest. Now we're going down onto our side for a side plank, finishing out this circuit. We're gonna go one more time through and move on. So, I got my forearm down, elbow underneath the shoulder, feet go out, hips pop up. Holding one line from the shoulder through the heels. Getting a nice, tight core as we pull that hip up off the ground, driving it up into the ceiling. Staying nice and rigid. Got a few more seconds. And into a switch, flipping sides. Holding the hips up. Nice and tall. A few more seconds here. And down, good. Going straight back into those Supermans. So we're laying down on the stomach, hands come out in front of us, palms down on the ground. We're gonna bring the hands and feet up, pulling up towards the ceiling, getting those shoulders down to the hips, away from our ears, and down, up, and up. Good, nice working pace, nice controlled movement as you come back down. Got a few more. And last one. Rest, all right. Now we're getting up onto our feet for those IYTs. All right, getting into that nice little hold squat. So hips back, knees down, getting our chest over the ground, hands directly below, thumbs out. Hands come straight up. And back down. Out for the Y's. Make sure you're giving a little hold at the top before you switch through to the next letter. Always keeping those shoulders away from the ears, pulled down to the hips. Nice, even working pace, really focusing on what muscles are working here. We're trying to get into that mid-back and shoulder blade muscles. Big activators for our posture here. And this is our last one. And back up. Good. Now we're going right into those split squats. We're getting one foot forward. Again, leaning our chest over the ground, over our knee, keeping the weight centered through the middle of the foot, and squatting down as we push the knee out over the toe and back up. We're going 30 seconds each leg here. Nice, even, working pace. Really working on controlling the weight up and down. Working on our balance a bit too. A few more seconds. And switch. Nice, even working pace. Really getting that weight into the front leg. Trying to get into good ranges of motion here. Ooh. You can feel the challenge. Try and focus on that challenge point. Try and get a little bit better through the movement here. A few more seconds. And rest. Good. Next up, we're going down for our shoulder taps. We've got our hands directly below the shoulder. Feet come back, knees come up. And we're alternating sides. And we're tapping. Trying to shift the hips as little as possible. Keep that trunk nice and stable through the middle. Keeping the chest up, away from the ground. And rest, back down, good. Now we've got our side plank. Getting our elbow down, directly below the shoulder. Feet come out, hips come up. Nice and aligned from the shoulder down to the heel. Holding us up as we sit in this side plank. You can always widen out your feet at the bottom or go down to the knees for a little bit more stability, a little bit more strength. And switching sides. Keeping those hips up, pressing the ground away from you with your elbow and your shoulder. Holding that nice tight core in one line, all the way from the shoulder down to the heel. Couple more seconds. Keep it up. Great work. And down. Good. We are going to start our second circuit here. The first one we're going to do is we've got glute bridges, okay? So we're going to lay flat on our back, feet flat on the ground. We're going to drive the hips up into the air, holding at the top, trying to get a straight line from the shoulders through the hips and into the knees, coming down slowly and tapping at the bottom, coming straight back up. We're going to hold for about 5 or 6 seconds at the top and slowly come back down. Trying to work both legs at the same rate, so we're not shifting our weight and moving our hips from one side to the other. Let's go, 3 more. And slowly back down. 1 more. And slowly back down. Good. Done. Next up, we have our glute kickbacks. So we're going to flip over onto our hands and knees. Get our back nice and flat, knees directly below hips, hands directly below shoulders. We're going to extend one leg back and behind us as we come up. We're not bringing the knee back down, but it's just swinging right below the mat and coming straight back up. Nice, even working pace here. Really work on getting that knee as high back as you can get it, trying to touch the foot to the back of the head. Go ahead, switch legs. Nice, even working pace. Couple more seconds. And done. Good. Next one, we've got our air squats, okay? 30 seconds. We're going to get up onto our feet. We want our toes and our heels about hip width apart. We're going to squat down, driving the hips back, bending the knees, and extending the hands forward, keeping our chest up, spine straight, sitting those hips back like we're about to sit down into a chair. Weight on the heels. Nice and easy pace here. Getting good work in, not resting for too long at the top. Few more. And rest. Good. Next one we've got is going to be a push-up. So we've got our shoulders nice and warm, body nice and hot. We're going to go ahead and do slow count knee push-ups. So I want you guys to get down to your knees, down to that quadruped position. And we're going to get our hands right below the shoulders. As we lower ourselves, we're bending the elbows back towards the hips, tucking into the ribs, nice and slow, and pressing back up as we come into that push-up. And real slow up, really thinking about the position of the shoulders here. And trying to keep them low and away. Got a few more here. Nice and in control with that slow drop down and slow push up. And done. Good. Next up, we have our strict plank. So flat plank, you're putting both forearms down on the ground. Getting your feet up, feet back, knees up. Hips off the ground, back nice and flat, all the way from the shoulders through the hips. Got one straight line here, keeping the body away and off of the ground. Sucking the belly button up to the spine, pulling the spine up to the ceiling. Really working on engaging that whole torso. And rest. Nice job. We're going back into those glute bridges. So go ahead and flip over on your mat. Back flat on the floor. Feet down on the ground. We're going to drive those hips up. Holding at the top. About a 5-second count as we drop the hips back down nice and slow. Getting a tap on the ground and back up. Holding. Slow down, tap, and up. Really driving those hips up to the ceiling. And controlling the weight through both heels as you come down and tap back up. Good. Couple more. Last one. All right, now we're flipping over into those glute kickbacks. Hands and knees on the mat. We're getting one leg up behind us, kicking that knee back, trying to get that foot to touch the back of the head. Really kicking that leg back. A few more seconds here. And switch. Immediately that other leg comes up. Working at an even pace. So you're not going slower or faster on your up or down. And remember, you're just leaving that knee off the ground as you come back down. We're not dropping and resting. A few more seconds. And rest. Good. Next up, we've got our air squats. So coming up onto our feet, we're going to get our feet and heels about hip width apart. Driving the hips back, knees bend, hands come out. Out in front of us, pulling back in, trying to get the whole body moving at the same pace. So as you hit the bottom of your squat, your hands should be fully extended. And as you come up, they're back into the body. A few more seconds here. And done. Good. Now we have our push-ups. Coming down to the mat again. Hands and knees down. We're going to go nice and slow. Low count here. As we come down, we're bending the elbows back towards the hips, in towards the ribs, and back up. Nice. And slow down and back up. Really feeling the movement, how your shoulders are working here, along with your chest. Stabilizing through both hands that are down on the ground. Good. A few more seconds as we push through here. Almost done, guys. Last little bit. And finish. Good. Elbows down, forearms down. You've got 30-second plank to finish things out. Go ahead and drive those feet back, knees off the ground, getting those hips up. And align with the shoulders. One flat plank all the way through the shoulders, through the hips, and into the toes, keeping the body away from the ground. Belly button sucked up to the spine. Hips nice and flat. Few more seconds. Keep working hard. Last little bit. And rest. Good. All right. As we cool things down here, we're just going to get into a nice, deep, wide squat. So I want you guys to get your feet pretty wide. We're going to lower the hips down into a good squat here. I got my elbows pushing on the inside of my knees to really open up the hips there. If this is a problem for you, you can kind of come down onto your hands and use your weight to help push open the hips from the knees out. We just want to be getting into the inside of the leg here and in this groin area. All right, now we're down on our butts. We're crossing one leg over, so I got a nice figure four here. One leg bent, other leg straight out. I'm going to bend that straight out leg so that I'm folding my leg up to the chest, and I'm going to press my body away from the ground with my hands so as to close the distance between my folded shin and my chest. You should be feeling this one in that bent hip right into the glutes there. Nice deep breaths. Really trying to relax the muscles as we move here. All right, send that leg back out. Switch legs. Other leg crosses over, folding down and bringing the knee up and in, pushing the body away, closing that gap. Driving your hands through the ground, keeping your chest nice and tall. And extend the leg back out, both feet out, forward fold for just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, guys. Sorry about going a minute over. Thank you guys so much.
Hope you had a great workout with me today. Don't forget, we have our abs and core class tomorrow at 4 with me, and our functional fitness Friday at noon on Friday. We will not be having any classes, nor will our fitness center be open for the next 2 weeks of rest, but go ahead and check out our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of amazing videos with some great instructors out there. Exosat Autodesk. Make sure to check us out. Stop in, get a good workout in over those long 2 weeks. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you around.